You know what really rustles my jimmies is that when someone finds out I'm a pharmacist and they're like, "Oh, how's that easy job counting pills all day?" Well, the thing is, pharmacy has changed. Okay, we're not pill counters anymore, and I want to share 5 misconceptions. Okay, 5 myths that are still hanging around, and how number two, number three, all of them kind of ruffle my feathers, my jimmies. Okay, and I don't want to be rustled in my jimmies. I don't. It's not just like the counting pills stereotype, and that's one of them. But there are many myths about what we do on a day-to-day basis. So today, I want to talk about what are these common misconceptions and separate some facts from fiction. The first one that I already alluded to is the pharmacists only count pills. I get it. It is what we have been known for the last, I don't know, 60 years. But when you go to your local pharmacy, here's the thing. Pharmacists generally aren't counting pills. The only ones they typically double check on are for controlled substances, like anything that's an opioid, fentanyl. That's like saying all a doctor does is write scripts all day. The reality is much more complex. Pharmacists are literally medication experts, and we interact with like everyone on the healthcare team. They're the few people that are protecting you, the patient, from dangerous interactions, potential problems before they happen with taking a medicine or whatever disease that you've been recently diagnosed with. And they catch mistakes. We're like the guardsmen and women of really the medicine kingdom that we have, preventing you from getting hurt. Here's what's interesting about pharmacists. According to a Gallup poll, 68% of people rated pharmacists as having very high professional ethics. We're only second to nurses. What we are is highly ethical guardsmen and women of the medicines that could potentially harm, if not kill you. My mentor used to say, drugs are just poisons at very small doses. We protect people. That's what we do. And not only that, but we're all over the place. Only 50% of pharmacists act within the community setting or chains like Walgreens, CVS. The rest of us, we're in hospitals, pharma companies, advocacy groups, public health. We're in the federal government. We're everywhere. Which leads us to the second misconception. Pharmacists are not real doctors. This is kind of like saying like PhDs aren't doctors. It's kind of like a language thing. Yes, we don't hold a medical doctorate degree. We have, though, a Doctor of Pharmacy degree, a PharmD, which requires extensive education, at least 3 to 4 years of graduate level training, plus a year of on-site training. And for many cases, we get 1 to 2 year residencies after our programs. Not calling us a doctor really undermines their and our expertise in critical roles that we play in healthcare. It's so frustrating to me that we as a profession, we don't even want to take on the role of doctor because we don't want to confuse people. We want to be careful to not like say like, oh, we're not actually a doctor. Like, oh, I can't actually treat your broken leg. I wish more pharmacists would stand up for themselves and their professionalism to call themselves doctors. I mean, even I don't really do it all that much because I want to be approachable to other pharmacists, that I don't take myself all that seriously like so many people do, and it really, I think, turns people off to the profession. Here's the third misconception. Pharmacists change the price of my drug. Okay. So it's how your medicines go from being made to getting to you. Manufacturers, wholesalers kind of produce and make and sell these medications to pharmacies. But pharmacists interact with what's called a pharmacy benefit manager. They're the people that interact with healthcare plans to determine whether your medicines are covered according to your insurance plan. And they set the price that a pharmacy is paid in order for you to get that medicine. Now, there's a whole other discussion here about why this practice is totally effed up and why we're the only country in the world to have the highest expensive healthcare and one of the worst qualities of healthcare compared to other first world countries. We're not talking about that. Pharmacists are not the one to determine how much your drug is priced at. That's your PBM, your pharmacy benefit manager, and your health insurance. They're the ones that mess this whole thing up for you. It is not the pharmacist. We're just the ones that prevent you from breaking into a retail pharmacy and taking all of the drugs. Okay? We're safeguarding it. We're the clinician when it comes to medicine. Think of like an alchemist. Okay? We're not the ones necessarily going to say like, oh, this drug is $5 and this one is $110. That is other people. That's them. Go take it up with them. Go complain to not your local pharmacist about the price. They're just as much a victim as you are in these circumstances. All right, the fourth misconception is that pharmacists only work in the pharmacy. Most people on the outside just think that we're in the retail setting, and I get it. That's understandable. But the truth of the matter is that pharmacists are absolutely essential in so many other organizations. Hospitals, pharmaceutical industry, nonprofit organizations, patient advocacy groups, state associations, the government. Let's be real. Many of us start and think about pharmacy from that perspective because it's so public facing. It's right out in the open. We're free to talk to. But there's many other paths. There's clinical research. There's hospital, there's drug development, there's specialty pharmacy, there's oncology, critical care. Even the military needs pharmacists. And here's something cool. Okay, pharmacists are actually on the front lines. We're one of the most trusted healthcare professions, most trusted professions of all time. And people talk to us about problems that they otherwise wouldn't want to talk to anyone else about. Like that rash underneath your belt. Ugh. When you've got a question about a medicine or a minor health issue, most people go to pharmacists because they don't charge for their time. That's why this misconception is still around and why I think it bothers me so much. The final and fifth misconception is that pharmacists just work behind the scenes. We can't prescribe and we don't interact with patients. Again, I think this is what the public sees. And this is also how we're portrayed in lots of media, different movies, that, you know, we're protected here. We're behind the counter and we don't want to talk to you. Yeah, don't touch me. I mean, honestly, one of the reasons why I did choose this profession was because I didn't have to touch people. At least that's what I had thought. I later learned that that was wrong, as I have touched some nasty things. But whoever came up with this never really spent any time in pharmacy. We're constantly interacting with patients. We're constantly advising doctors on what the best route is. If the bigwigs who are in charge of pharmacy and its direction really had their way, we would take away doctors' prescribing ability. Why? Well, doctors only get 1, maybe 2 semesters of pharmacology, and then they have 4 years of practicing medicine, where they're doing all sorts of things from diagnosing to treating diseases. From our point of view, we understand medicine than any doctor ever will. There's lots of people who disagree with me on that, but there's a lot of pharmacists who would agree with me on this. We've talked to enough doctors to know that more often than not, we understand medicine better than they. After all, that was kind of our entire education. Now, I may get some doctor haters on here. You're welcome to throw your hate at me, but like, I don't think I would trust you running a pharmacy. So, a little standoffish, I know, but it is what it is. So we're the ones counseling people. We're the ones answering their questions after they've taken the medicine for 2 weeks. We're the ones that catch that people aren't taking their medicine after 2 weeks and wonder, why is your heart rate high? Why is your BP out of control? We're the ones answering questions about side effects and catching things that you don't catch, because that's our job. We also have these things called collaborative practice agreements, which basically is an agreement between us and a physician that allows us to prescribe certain medicines and doses of those things, and even changing things. In fact, that was one of my first professional jobs as an ambulatory care or primary care pharmacist, where I spoke with patients who had diabetes or atrial fibrillation, and I would change doses of those medicines without ever talking to a physician because we had that agreement in place. What excites me about pharmacy is that it's always evolving, always changing. Every year we're seeing new and different opportunities open up and new specialties develop, new ways of helping patients. It is nowhere close to dispensing. That is not the future of pharmacy. And we've got to let that myth die. We're providing clinical services and managing chronic diseases. We're preventing chronic diseases, and we're conducting research that shapes healthcare policy. Here's what I want everyone to understand. Pharmacy is a dynamic, patient-centered profession that's absolutely crucial to healthcare. Okay? We're not just like sitting behind a counter anymore. Yes, some people are doing that, but we are medication experts no matter what practice setting we're in. We're patient advocates. We are an essential part of the healthcare team. And what this is all about at the end of the day is helping people. It's helping patients. And it's being a part of the solution in healthcare. Our profession has so much more to give. And if you're a pharmacist and you're like, yeah, I get all of these things, and you're interested in the real unfiltered story about pharmacy careers and understanding what is out there that's maybe non-traditional or breaking free from these old tropes, I've got something cool for you. Okay, I wrote a book. It's called Indispensable, and it gives you the complete picture, and I mean everything about where we're going as a profession, the highs, the lows, and the challenges, and the things that you can do in this profession that no one really talks about. If you'd love a free copy, there's a link below in the description. I would love to give you it either as a PDF or as an audio file where you can hang out with me during your commute or whatever. Whether you're a student trying to figure out like if pharmacy is the right career path for you, or you're already a pharmacist and you want to make a change, this book is going to give you an honest and complete overview of what our profession's about and how you can find what you would love to do in it. Okay, so that's it. That's it for this video. If you found it helpful, make sure to like, subscribe. Let us know what you liked about it and what other topics you want me to cover. Maybe there's a misconception or a myth out there that kind of rustles your jimmies and you want me to cover it. Let me know in the comments. So until I see you in the next video, stay curious and take care.